Hello everyone, Brett McCrae here with your latest farm and ranch news on Northern Ag TV. Researchers at Montana State University have been awarded a grant from USDA to study herbicide resistance in wild oats. Wild oats are a significant nuisance for Montana growers. They can outcompete crops like barley, which Montana farmers seeded into 920,000 acres this spring. In total, the Department of Agriculture gave $900,000 to MSU so that researchers can determine how wild oats develop herbicide resistance to common herbicides and give recommendations to producers for either precise herbicide applications or alternative management strategies that are effective against the weed. And the Montana Department of Agriculture continues to highlight value-added agriculture and local producers. Last week, Montana Governor Gianforte visited Oxbow Cattle Company near Missoula. Bart and Wendy Morris own and operate the Oxbow Cattle Company, stewarding a herd of 300 cattle on land right on the edge of a Missoula residential neighborhood. Oxbow Cattle Company uses regenerative agriculture practices and markets its own grass-finished beef along with other local farm products through a farm-to-market store that is operated entirely on the honor system. In 2022, Governor Gianforte gave more than $7.8 million for value-added agriculture projects to help increase local meat processing capacity and support food systems in Montana. And this year, fiscal year 2024, was the second largest sales year for the Certified Angus beef brand in the company's history. Certified Angus beef sold more than 1.2 billion pounds of beef in the U.S. and other countries this year. Almost 6 million head of cattle were certified for the brand. CAB says that market signals indicate that high-quality beef is strong for restaurants and grocery stores both in the U.S. and internationally. Certified Angus beef president John Stika says that cattlemen and women that breed these Angus genetics are the foundation of the brand and the key to its success. Speaking of those Angus producers, at the American Angus Association annual convention in Fort Worth over the weekend, some Montana producers were recognized for their historic achievements. Hinman Angus near Malta was given the Heritage Foundation Award, recognizing contributions to the Angus breed, and Sitz Angus near Harrison and Dillon was also given the Heritage Foundation Award along with the Century Award, which recognizes more than 100 years of producing registered Angus genetics. So congratulations to the Hinman and Sitz families. Northern Ag TV is back in 30 seconds.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
The cattle market traded moderately lower on Monday. Some of the short-term fundamentals have seen some weakness, which has eroded some of that trader optimism in recent trading sessions. Cash cattle trade was steady to $2 lower last week. Live deals from $187 to $191, and the dress basis from $296 to $298. At the St. Ange Livestock on Friday, the light 4-weight steer calves brought from $372 to $380. Heavy 4-weight calves from $340 to $348, and light 5-weights from $313 to $321. Heavy 5-weights from $301 to $309. Heavy 4-weight heifers in St. Ange averaged 483 pounds at $2.99 for an average per head value of $1,448. At the sheep yards in Newell, 70 to 89 pound feeder lambs were $3 to $4 better from $182 to $199, and lambs sold over 100 pounds went from $148 to $165. Grain markets were mixed on Monday. USDA information this week has the potential to have a larger impact on price direction. Crop progress reports yesterday provide another look at winter wheat conditions last week, categorized as the worst since the mid-1980s. And Friday's crop production and supply and demand estimates will give more data on recent strong demand and the beginning of the end for 2024 harvest results. I'm Brett McCrae. Thanks for tuning in to Northern Ag TV.